Hello, friends, and welcome to a weekly pick a card reading with me, Intuitive Rene. I have got 4 crystals on the table here in front of me because you have 4 choices for reading today. So you get to choose one of the 4 crystals on display. And this week, our pick a card theme is to do a mid-year check-in. We are obviously have completed 6 months of the year, and we literally have got 6 months left. So I thought it's a really good time to do a mid-year check-in. I chose crystals with a particular purpose, not just pretty to put on the table, but I chose from my what I call my rough crystals, okay? Because let's be honest, 2022 has been a little bit rough. It's been a hard, tough year. And I thought we're not going to pretend that everything's fabulous. We're not going to pretend that everything's great. We're here to be honest. We're here to be real. We're here to speak truth. So I chose crystals that are in their rough form, that haven't been smoothed or prettied or polished or, shaped in any way except for the way that nature intended them to be. And because to me, I much prefer a natural looking crystal as opposed to a polished. I do have my own fair share of beautiful polished crystals, but I'm always drawn to the rough and tumbled ones. I think it's because I relate to the rough and tumbled more than I do to the polished. But I chose these because, like I said, I just feel like we're all feeling a little bit rough and tumbled at the moment. And I see this with all my client interactions. I see this with every reading that I do. Everybody's feeling a little bit on edge. Everybody's feeling like life is tough. Life is hard. When's it going to stop? When's it going to ease up? When's it going to get any better? We're all feeling those kind of feelings at the moment. And I thought, again, another reason to do a mid-year check-in. So I have got a different cloth on the table. I normally have a cream colored cloth, but I've gone with a deep color. I think it's the only word that I can use it's created a problem with recording because it is such a deep color and the contrast with the crystals and all of that. But you know what? We're going with it. I have a glare that's coming up here, but I can't actually see it on the cloth in front of me. I see it on camera, but I don't see it on the cloth. So if you see me keep moving that area, then yeah, but it seems to be gone now. I don't know what it was. Anyway, the deck that I want to work with today is a deck I have worked quite a lot with in the last couple of weeks, and it's the Sasarabuto Tarot. This is the pocket version, so it's the little one, which means it's easy for me to shuffle. The artwork is just absolutely amazing. So, and I find that this deck speaks a truth. I'm going to call it a modern day truth. I don't know, it just seems to speak to my soul. So I'm going to use the Sasarabuto Tarot to do our reading today. And I am going to do 4 individual readings, 4 readings that are exactly the same, but obviously the cards will talk a different story. All you need to do is to decide which of the 4 readings you are drawn to and which of the 4 crystals you are drawn to, and hopefully that'll be the right reading for you. As I said, we're doing a mid-year check-in. I have got 7, 8 kind of questions that I'm going to be drawing. So we're going to draw a total of, I think it's actually 7, 8. I think it's 8 cards that we're going to draw. Normally I do a mixture between tarot and oracle, and today I'm just doing straightforward tarot because I feel like we don't need the flowers and the pretty and the gentle kind of stuff. I feel like I want to get right down to the truth. I want to get right down to the things that matter the most, and I want to get right down to the nitty-gritty of the situation. So that's why I'm just going to stick with tarot and this particular tarot deck. The crystals that I've got to help you choose, this one is a pink tourmaline. You can see there is the pink tourmaline. Again, the coloring might be a little bit off because of the cloth that I've chosen, but there you can see the pink tourmaline, and it's in amongst some calcite, and I actually don't know what this silver is that you see, but it is a beautiful piece. Pink tourmaline is not as popular or as easy to come by as the normal black tourmaline that everybody has. So I have this beautiful chunky piece of pink raw tourmaline. That is the first crystal that you have to choose from. The second one I've chosen is it's a beautiful piece. It is an amethyst point. You can see both of them have got a bit of purple in their point, but it is a cluster, and it is so that's how the rock would seem on the ground, and then when you open it up you have this beautiful amethyst quartz cluster inside of it. So this is the Amethyst Quartz Cluster that you could choose as well. And these are as dirty as they come out of the ground. They're not actually dirty. That's just how they are marked or stained from the earth. Isn't it gorgeous? Love it. So we have the Amethyst Cluster as well. And then we have some beautiful blue lace agate. So again, that's the raw rock. And if you opened it up, you would have these beautiful stripes of the blue lace agate. And on top, it creates this almost like cloud-like pattern. Isn't it just absolutely gorgeous? So we've got some blue lace agate. You can see some more of the lace. So this is a nice chunky piece of blue lace agate that you could choose. And then the roughest of them all. This is a piece of Labradorite. So Labradorite is usually a crystal that if you get it at the certain light, you're going to see, there we go, you're going to see a little bit of purple and greens and whatever that are coming through. There we go. You can see it there. You can see the purple coming through. But if you look at it ordinarily, it just looks like there's a bit of the purple coming through or the green coming through there as well. It just looks like a chunk of rock, you know. But Labradorite is one of my favorite crystals, and I have quite a few different pieces of it. But I love this one in its natural form. If this one was polished, if I actually took the time to polish it, it would be exquisite. If we catch it in the light, you can see the blue and the purple want to come through, even over here. It wants to come through, but because it's so rough, we don't necessarily see the beautiful of it. All right, so that is Labradorite. So we have got pink tourmaline. We have got a Amethyst Quartz Cluster, blue lace agate, and Labradorite. So those are the 4 crystals that you get to choose from. And I'm just realizing now that all these little spots are coming from this crystal because this particular crystal is quite soft. And especially this calcite that's on it. Calcite is a very soft crystal. So the calcite is the white that I'm referring to. And if you rub it enough, you know, you do get little flecks of it that's coming off. And that's obviously what I'm seeing on my tablecloth. So I will have to do a cleanup before we start. So pink tourmaline, Amethyst Cluster, blue lace agate, or Labradorite. Which of those 4 rough and tumbled crystals are you drawn to? Which of those 4 crystals seems to be pulling you in? And let that be the reading that you must listen to and watch for our mid-year check-in for 2022. All right, friends, let's get straight into it. I'll see you at your reading. Right, welcome to those of you who have chosen the pink tourmaline as your crystal of choice. Welcome. I see there's another mark that I can't see on the tablecloth, but I see it on camera. So pink tourmaline, welcome. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I have not looked at them. I just thought to speed it up so that we can get, because I really feel like today I want to just get straight into the reading. I want to get to the crux of the situation, and I want to help you guys achieve and be as happy as you can be, considering 2022 as it has been. So we're looking at doing a mid-year check-in. So we, first of all, before I do any of my specialty tarot readings, the first thing I like to do is to look at where are you currently? Where are you currently? What are you dealing with? And then we're going to look at the balance of the year. So the top row is sort of helping us look at the past, at the last 6 months. We've got one card which is going to help us setting the tone for the future. And then these 4 cards are going to talk about the balance of 2022, what's still coming up for you. So let's have a look. Let's look at a card that describes your year so far. So for those of you who chose the pink tourmaline, how has 2022 been for you so far? I'm going to bring it closer to show you. Page of Swords. Now, the first thing I notice is the color has gone terrible. Let me fix that first. There we go. That's a bit better. So the first thing I notice is the disheveled hair. Okay. To me, it looks like the hair is a little bit all over the place, but we're standing strong. We're standing confident. We've got the sword at the ready, and we're ready to dive in and tackle and to do the things that we need to do. But there is also this element of defensiveness. Okay, if you look at the body posture, if you look at the way that they're holding the sword. It's almost like they're ready to defend themselves if they need to, but they're also ready to attack. The fact that the hair is a little bit wild, a little bit all over the place, is an indication of busy, is an indication of a lot to do, little time to do it, go, 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 go. So a card to describe your year so far. This is how it's been. Yes, you've been successful. Yes, you've accomplished a lot. You've achieved a lot. You've gained a lot. You've worked through a lot, but you haven't necessarily come out of it unscathed. So far this year has been go, 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 go. It's about, just achieve, achieve, achieve. You always have this slight element of defensiveness, but you're ready to attack, to move, to progress at a moment's notice. So I think that's quite apt for a card to describe 2022 so far for you, up to this point that you're watching the video. Let's have a look now. Our next card is going to be the biggest take from January to June 2022. So what has been the biggest thing that you can take from the first half of this year? And we've got the Temperance card, which totally makes sense to me. Temperance is the card of balance. It's the card of evening out. It's the card of saying, well, how much do I need to keep and how much do I need to give? When is it enough? Okay. So it's the card of trying to understand the balance between right and wrong, good or bad, yes and no, up and down, defensiveness versus action, waiting versus running versus jumping versus all of those kind of things. So your biggest take from this year is that you've learned how to have that balance. You've learned how to have that understanding, even though it feels like it's been completely manic and completely all over the place and completely a chaos, okay? Because that's the kind of energy I'm getting from our Page of Swords, is that it feels like it's a little bit chaotic, a little bit all over the place. But actually your biggest take from January to June so far has been on how you have been focusing and learning and experiencing balance through all things. And that is very, very important. Our next card across that we're looking at here is a card that describes you right now. So this is the year so far, your biggest take from it, and you right here and right now. We have the King of Swords. So we've progressed from the Page of Swords to the King of Swords. Now look at his sword action, if I can call it that. So he's leaning on his sword, point down, okay? So it's pointing down. He's leaning on it. He's almost like he's taking a rest, almost like he's catching his breath. We've got some clouds developing in the background behind him, but he's feeling quite confident. He's feeling quite sure of himself and quite, he knows who he is. But he also realizes that we don't have to be going at 100 kilometers an hour all the time. He realizes that it's okay to stop at the robots from time to time, to stop and sort of catch your breath and to just take stock of what's going on around you. So he's not feeling so eager and so enthusiastic to be on the go the whole time. He's understanding that there's a time and a place, and it's about pacing yourself. So who are you right now? What is a card to describe you right here and right now? It's almost like you recognize you are partway. You recognize that you haven't completed yet. You recognize that there's a lot to do, but you're also taking the opportunity to just breathe and just to have a moment to catch up with yourself before things get too crazy. Okay, so for all of you who chose the pink tourmaline, so far 2022 hasn't been awful, okay? It's been busy. It's been tough. It's been a struggle trying to find your balance, but actually it looks like you're doing really well. It looks like you're accomplishing and achieving a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Our next card that we have over here is a theme, the theme of the balance of the year. So from July to December of 2022, what is your overall theme going to be? And here we have the Hanged Man. Now, he's not a hanged man as in by his neck and dying. That's absolutely not what he is. As you can see, he's hanging upside down by his one ankle and he's in his undies, he's feeling quite comfortable. He's feeling quite relaxed. He's not struggling. He's not in any kind of pain or discomfort. What he's doing though is he's recognizing that he needs a little bit of a sacrifice. He's recognizing that he needs to keep himself held back a little bit in order to get a different perspective on situation. So the Hanged Man is the card of self-sacrifice, but it's also the card of understanding that we need a different perspective on life, on situations and circumstances. So the message that's coming through from that for all of you, the balance of 2022, from July to December of 2022, your theme is about a new perspective, about looking at things differently, seeing things differently, and realizing that and realizing that sometimes we have to do things a little bit differently because we've spent the first half of the year trying to find balance, trying to figure ourselves out, trying to understand the balance. Now that we have a better understanding, the rest of the year is going to be about seeing everything from a different point, from a different vantage point, and having a different understanding of everything. And it clearly looks like this is exactly what is needed. So, advice to each one of you as you step through the next 6 months of your life, as we go through July to December, instead of doing things in the same way that you've always done them, why not look at it slightly differently? So before jumping into a situation, before jumping into a thing, take a minute to look at it and ask yourself, should I be doing it the same way? Or is there a different way? Maybe I should try something different. Maybe I should tackle it in a different way. Maybe I should just view my circumstances in a different way. And if you spend a bit of time doing that, if you spend a bit of time just changing your situation a little bit, or changing the way that you respond to a situation a little bit, you may be pleasantly surprised as to the outcomes. All right. So your theme for the rest of the year is about looking at and tackling things in a slightly different way to the usual or the norm. All right, we're coming down to the bottom row. Now we've finished with the first half of the year. We're now looking at the balance of 2022. The first card we have here for you is what is actually coming your way. During the next 6 months, what is coming your way? And the card that we have there is the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords is a very interesting card. First thing we notice that we don't see her eyes. Her head is down. She has got her hair sort of covering her eyes. She has a very strong defensive pose going on. She's got her hands crossed in front of her chest, and she has her swords crossed in front of her mind, in front of her face. So she is wanting or not wanting to see the truth. So what is coming your way? Truth. That's exactly what this card is. This card is all about truth. Whether you want to see it or you don't want to see it is completely irrelevant. Two of Swords is the card of truth. It's the card of truth revealed. All right. So what is coming your way during the next 6 months? Truth and understanding. It may be a hard truth. It may be a simple truth. It may be a truth that you've been looking for the longest time. That will vary. What kind of truth it is will vary for each one of you. But just know that the next 6 months is going to bring you a truth that you're not aware of right now. Let's see how to handle this truth. Okay, so this that's coming your way, how should we handle it? What should you do? Face it is what you should do. So here we have the card of the moon. Look at the tears. So it's the same person. I'm sure of it. It's the same person. So the moon is the card of facing your fears. It's about letting the tears roll. Okay, letting the emotions flow, but facing the fears. Not being afraid not being afraid to be vulnerable, if I can put it that way. When I look at especially these two cards over here, because at the time of this reading, you're actually feeling quite confident, you're feeling quite strong, you're feeling quite capable, you're feeling as if you've got a solid understanding around everything that you're doing. But we're saying to you the theme for the rest of the year is a little bit of self-sacrifice, and also to make sure that you're seeing things from a different vantage point, that you're seeing things in a different way, because that will help you to uncover the truth, to get to the bottom of the truth, to have that freedom that you don't have to hold on to anything anymore. But it does mean being honest with yourself, and it does mean about releasing the emotions, letting the emotions flow and not holding on to them too much. Because this truth is obviously going to, I hesitate to say, but it's obviously going to hurt. It's obviously going to invoke something within you that may not be overly pleasant. Who or what will help you through this process? Let's have a look. Who or what is going to help you through this? And here we have the Page of Cups. So you've got two page energies coming through. Page energy is young, it's enthusiastic, it's bold, it's all of that. Our Page of Cups, I love how she holds a key in her hand, because she does. She holds the key. So somebody young, somebody enthusiastic. It could also be, if it's not somebody of physical young age, it may be somebody who is new into your life, okay? So somebody who is new into your life that's going to help you to see the truth, uncover the truth, and to work through it. They are going to hold the key to your solutions, the key to your situation. But you're going to have to still remember that you need to be looking at things from a different vantage point in order to recognize and identify this person who is going to help you. So who or what will help you uncover the truth? This person. Okay, and this person's going to come into your life with your best interests at heart. This is not somebody coming from a place of ego. This is not somebody coming from a place of their own needs, wants, and desires. This is somebody who's going to be actually generally concerned for your well-being, and somebody who has the best intentions of helping you to find the solutions, helping you find the answers that you're looking for, so that you're not living a life like this any longer. And finally, something for you to look forward to over the next 6 months. Gosh, something for you to look forward to over the next 6 months. We have got the Nine of Swords. Now, it's quite interesting because we didn't really want to see the Nine of Swords, because the Nine of Swords is the card of stress, fear, and anxiety. It's a card where we feel like, it looks like this person's got quite the headache happening. The stress levels are quite high. So something to look forward to is the overcoming of this, all right? Because we can't look forward to headaches. We can't look forward to having stress in our life, but we can look forward to the clearing of this. That is the way that I am interpreting this. We can look forward to the stress, but again, maybe when I look at this, maybe we're not noticing the stress. Maybe we're not aware of whatever is causing us discomfort in our lives at the moment. Maybe we have been so focused on balancing, okay, on finding harmony, finding peace and tranquility in our lives, that we haven't really truly identified what is causing the stress. So when the truth is revealed, and when we have to face that truth and deal with that truth, we are then only then are we able to clear it, to get rid of it, and see things from a different perspective. So for all of you who chose the pink tourmaline, and it's interesting because normally with crystals, with tourmaline crystals in particular, you normally get the black tourmaline. That is the common one. That's the one that most people who have an interest or a love of crystals generally have, the black tourmaline. It's not often you see the pink tourmaline, and it's because you've chosen a crystal that's slightly different, that is not all that common, that is not the popular one. And it's exactly how the reading has come out. It's about looking for something that's not easy, looking for something that's going to make you look at everything from a different point of view, because maybe you didn't even know that tourmaline came in different colors. All right, but it's about uncovering that truth, seeing how it fits with you, see how it feels with you, see how we react and respond to it. Because at the moment you're feeling like, okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I know who I am, I know what I have to do. But you've spent 6 months fighting, struggling, trying to stand your ground. You're feeling a little bit like you've been rough housed a little bit, but all you're trying to do is to find that balance, to find that balance, to find that balance. But maybe you can't find the balance because we haven't uncovered truth. So we need to go through this. We need to clear this so that we can get into the next year with a clean slate, so that we're not carrying any of this energy into the next year. So friends, for those of you who chose the pink tourmaline, I do hope that this helps you over the next 6 months. I do hope that this guides you on your journey of life over the next couple of months. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. And welcome to those of you who chose the Amethyst Cluster as the crystal that you are drawn to today. I have shuffled and laid out the cards just to speed up the process, because I really feel like today all I want to do is focus on getting to the nitty-gritty of the message, getting straight to the truth, straight to whatever it is that you need to hear right here and right now as we go into the second half of 2022. So let's get straight into the reading and let's have a look. The first card is a card that describes 2022 so far. So how has your year been so far? And there we have the card of the sun. So it is a beautiful, bright card. It is of a little boy looking up to the sun. And if you think about little boys, they're just so desperate to get outside and to play, isn't it? They love the sunshine. Sunshine means freedom. It means happiness. It means joy. It means all of that. So for those of you who chose the Amethyst Cluster, you probably find that 2022 hasn't been awful, okay? There has been a lot of positive. There's been a lot of luck. There's been a lot of success. There's been a lot of opportunity around you, which you have absolutely, completely and utterly embraced, okay? So the year so far has not been terrible. It doesn't mean that it's been fabulous, okay? It doesn't mean that it's been without its issues. It just means that generally speaking, on the whole, it hasn't been awful. But let's have a look and see, in saying that, what is the biggest take of the year? So what has been the biggest thing that you can take from the first half of 2022 so far? And the card we have there is the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords to me is the card of understanding. It's the card of lessons and learning. Page of Swords is the card where we sort of take knowledge and information and insight, and we learn how it works in the real world. So your biggest take from this year is the lessons that you've experienced. So maybe this is why the year hasn't been all that bad, because you've learned a lot, you've gained a lot, you've achieved a lot, you've figured out a lot about yourself and about your environment that you live in and that you work in. So far 2022 has not been awful for you, but it has been busy. There's been a lot going on, but you have accomplished and achieved everything that you've set out to achieve and everything that you needed to. So far, all in all, not too shabby. We're now going to have a look at a card that's going to describe you right here and right now. So at the time of watching this particular video, at the time of recording it, it is in time for the 1st of July that I'm recording the video, but whenever you watch it, this is a card to describe you in this moment, here and now. So you here and now, we have the Four of Wands. So if I bring it just a little bit closer, if we have a look at the particular artwork here, you can see we have this, I'm going to call it or reference a solid 3D structure, a shape. It is a rectangle, but it's a 3D rectangle because it's a strong shape. You know, if you now were to put something on top, it's going to hold that weight. It's going to be strong enough to manage and to handle whatever gets put on it or whatever it needs to hold up. So it's a card of stability and structure. All right, that is its meaning, that is its interpretation. Four of Wands is about stability and structure and also longevity. And for you, that's who you are right now. Recognizing that it hasn't been an awful year. You've learned, grown, achieved, and accomplished so much. And you right here, right now, you're actually feeling quite stable. You're feeling quite secure. You're feeling quite confident in yourself. Okay, we're not talking about external situations. We're not talking about particular things. Just you, generally speaking, as an individual, you're actually feeling quite confident. You're actually feeling quite good. All right, which is not bad at all, of course. So when I look at these three talk about 2022 from January through to the end of June or whenever it is that you're watching this video. And it looks like it really has not been terrible. We're now going to start looking at and spending more time focusing on what's coming up in the balance of 2022. So for the rest of the year, this is the card that's going to define the theme. So the overall theme of 2022, what's left of 2022 for you, and we have the Four of Swords. So interesting, we've got the two fours that are coming through. And the two fours, four is the number of stability and structure. And look what our young fella is doing here. So here we have the Four of Swords. We have the Four Swords standing very equally, very balanced, very evenly spaced out behind him, and he's sitting in front of them, and he looks like he's in a bit of a meditation. I'm not entirely sure why his face is turning blue. I hope it's not from lack of oxygen, but I do think it's from a level of enlightenment. But what he's doing is he's separating himself from the physical. You can see he's even levitating a little bit, okay? So he has raised himself up. He has removed himself from the earth plane. And what he's doing is he's taking a time out. He's taking time to connect with himself. He's taking time to be within himself, to understand himself before he does anything on a physical level. So physically, mentally, we have got structure, we have got stability, we have got understanding, we have got all of those kind of energies coming through, which I think is really, really great. So your theme for the balance of the year is about doing as little as necessary to achieve the best outcomes. So it's not going to be about doing it all. It's not going to be about just grabbing every opportunity and running with it and doing it and accomplishing it. It's about being selective in what you want to get involved in what you want to do, and how you want to do it. And it's interesting with the crystal because we've got these two main amethyst points coming out of a cluster, and it's almost like they have been very selective as to when they want to grow, how they want to grow, who they're growing with, and who's not. All the other tiny little pieces that we have, they have chosen to stay behind. So it's about being selective as to what you want to get involved in, what you want to do, what you want to be associated with, who you want to be associated with. So your theme for the rest of the year is about mindfulness. Right now, you're feeling very confident, you're feeling very strong, but the balance of the year, the theme for you is mindfulness and being very consciously aware of what you get involved in, why you get involved in it, and the outcomes that you expect from that. All right. Coming down the bottom here, we're looking at what is coming your way for the next 6 months. So July to December 2022, what is coming your way? And we have got the card of Temperance. So Temperance is the card of balance. So now we understand these two cards because this is just really reiterating these two cards. Temperance is the card of taking the opposite aspects of your life. So for example, your doing and your spirituality, and it's finding the balance between them, about your money and your emotions, your work and your home, all of these kind of things that are important. They're all equally important, but they're also opposites, and we tend to keep them all very separate, don't we? We don't often overlap our finances and our emotions. Sometimes there is an overlap, but mostly they're all compartmentalized, they're all categorized. And this is you. So what is coming your way between now and the end of 2022 is about you trying to find a balance between all these areas and aspects of yourself, opposite areas and aspects of yourself. How should you handle it? How should you tackle this? How should you handle this particular situation? And we have got the Nine of Pentacles. I love that. So the Nine of Pentacles is what I like to refer to as the opulence card. It's the card of extra. It's the card of excess. It's the card that says that you have everything you want and so much more. So the way that you should handle the balance is, first of all, acknowledging that which you do have. And that speaks into those two cards as well. Acknowledge that which you do have. Acknowledge whether it's the tangible, the physical things, or whether it's the emotional, whether it's the financial, whether it's whatever it is. Just acknowledge that which you already have that brings you a sense of comfort, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, and a sense of belonging. So if you can acknowledge that within yourself, it immediately makes finding the balance, finding the center point so much easier. So what's coming your way? Finding balance. How should you handle it? Acknowledging that which you do have. And let's see who or what will help you to see what you do have. So who or what is there to help you? And it looks like it's a new energy. We've got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups talks about new person, new emotion. It doesn't necessarily refer to a new romance, okay? If you are in the market for a new romance, it could absolutely be that, without a shadow of a doubt. But if you're already in a relationship, or if you already belong to somebody or have given your heart to somebody, then this is just a person coming into your life who will help you to find balance and to acknowledge all that you do have. So there is a lesson around emotions, an individual that come into your space that will help you through finding your stability, finding your balance, finding your yin and yang in your life. So somebody is going to help you to see all that you have, to appreciate and value all that you have so that you can have the balance in your life. I'm actually quite loving this particular reading, and to me it makes so much sense. Everything's been great. We've had an amazing 2022. Yes, we've had our ups and our downs, and yes, we've had some rainy days, and yes, we've had some of those kind of things, but actually, generally speaking, on the whole, you probably can't complain too much. That Page of Swords as the biggest thing to take from the January to June period is about, how hard and tough you are, and how you have managed to fight through and to get through everything. You haven't let anything get you down. You've sort of just persisted and persevered and made it through, which is really, really great. All right, our final card down the bottom here for all of you watching is something that you can look forward to during the balance of this year. So as we go through the rest of 2022, what is something that you can look forward to? And we have got the Knight of Pentacles. So here we have, I'm going to refer to him as a farmer. He is working in his fields. We can see we've got some wheat fields happening over there, and it always looks to me like he's either wiping his brow, wiping the sweat off his brow, or he's sort of shielding his eyes from the sun so that he can see better. But he's very active, he's very busy, but he's taking a minute to sort of just observe. And again, taking a minute to observe is what we have there, and as well as these three cards that we have here. So something to look forward to is the fact that you will be able to clearly see We're going to wipe the sweat out of our eyes. We're going to shield our eyes from the sun, and we're going to be able to clearly see how well our crops are doing. What are our crops? It's whatever this is that we're putting balance in. It's whatever it is that we're trying to bring balance to in our lives. So there is definitely going to be somebody who is going to help you to see, because these two cards are talking the same story. These two cards are talking about appreciation, value, respect for that which you already have, seeing what you have, recognizing what you have, acknowledging what you have, and somebody's going to help you. And then you will suddenly realize how much balance you have and how little you need to do in order to appreciate and have and enjoy the balance in your life. I love that. So for those of you who chose the Amethyst Cluster, I do hope that you've enjoyed your reading. I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope it just helps you navigate the next 6 months of your life. Thank you for being here with me. As always, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Welcome to those of you who chose the blue lace agate crystal as the crystal you are drawn to today. As you can see, I have shuffled and laid out the cards already just to speed up the process, just because I feel like it's so important for us to get straight into the message. Short, sweet, and to the point is the theme for today. And we're looking at doing a mid-year check-in, and we're looking to see how has 2022 been for you so far, and what does the balance of 2022 have in store for you. So I have shuffled and laid out the cards. Let's get straight into your reading, starting with this card over here, which is going to describe what the year has been like so far. So what has the first 6 months of the year been like? How has 2022 been for you so far? And the card we have there is the Tower card. Now, if you know anything about tarot, or if you've been following my channel for a while, you will know that the Tower card is not really a fabulous card. It's not always the kind of card that we want or need to see, because the Tower talks about hardships, talks about struggle, it talks about your world crumbling. The Tower card says to you that, you know, when you've had that kind of feeling of the rug being pulled out from under you, that's the Tower card. So 2022 so far, the year for you so far, has clearly been a really tough one. It's clearly been a hard year, a difficult year for you, where just as you feel as if you've got on top of things, something happens and you're right back at square one and you're needing to build yourself up again, build yourself up again. So the Tower card is the card that says 2022 has not been kind. A lot of the things that have happened to you, a lot of the things that have happened around you, to you, and with you this year have probably been necessary, if I can put it that way, but it certainly hasn't been pleasant. It certainly hasn't been a walk in the park, okay? You've had your more than your fair share of challenge, more than your fair share of difficulty, and you're probably not feeling so fabulous right here and right now. I'm sorry for your struggles, but hopefully the rest of the cards will give you some reason behind it, and also something to look forward to going forward. So as much as we're acknowledging that 2022 so far has not been great, let's have a look as what is your biggest take from January to June. So what is one thing that you can take from the first 6 months that has been beneficial? And the card that we have for you there is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles, and this is quite interesting, because the Nine of Pentacles is the card of acknowledging that which you already have. So it's almost made you, the challenges, the difficulties, the hardships that you've endured so far in 2022 have actually made you be grateful for that which you already have, because that's what the Nine of Pentacles is. Nine of Pentacles is the card of gratitude. It's the card of acknowledging and being grateful for whatever it is that you have. So as much as you've had challenge, difficulty, loss, destruction, devastation, hardship, etc. during 2022, it certainly made you that which you do have, even if it is only a little bit that's left over, whatever it is that you do have, you're certainly more appreciative of what you do have. So that is the biggest thing for you to take from January to June 2022. Next card is going to be one that describes you right here, right now. So at the time of recording this video, it's the intention that this video be applicable from the 1st of July 2022. But if you come and watch this video at any point after that, then this would be you at that point. So when you watch this video for the first time, this is the card that describes you right here, right now. And here we have the Eight of Swords, okay? just to bring it a little bit closer because the lighting is not great today. So if we have a look at this Eight of Swords, here we have a person who is very much in their heads. You can see with this lighting around them, and there's these kind of swords coming at them, through this kind of smoke. Eight of Swords is the card of being your own worst nightmare. It's the card of being your own worst enemy. It's the card that says to you, you're so caught up in everything that's gone wrong and everything that's happened and everything that's been hard and tragic for you during the year. You're so, still processing all of that, that maybe you're still there, that maybe you're still experiencing it. So even though we're saying, what you can take from the first 6 months of this year is, being grateful for that which you do have, that which is good and great in your life, but you're still feeling very vulnerable. Okay, you're still feeling very much like, I can't change it. I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to move myself from one place to another. You're still very much in that energy. And maybe we need to start shifting, but I'm hoping that the balance of the cards will help you to do that. So for all of you who chose the blue lace agate, the first 6 months of this year have certainly not been fabulous. Yes, it's put things into perspective for you, and yes, it's helped you to see and appreciate that which you do have, those people that you have, the circumstances and the situations that you do have. But at the time of this particular recording and you watching this video for the first time, you're still feeling very much stuck in the trouble, in the drama, in the chaos, in the disruption that you have experienced in 2022. Our next card across is going to give us our theme for the balance of 2022. So July through to December of 2022, what is the general theme for you? And what we have is the Four of Pentacles. So we can see we have a young person who is clutching, holding tightly, trying to hold on to as best as they can to these four pentacles, these four discs. These four discs represent everything that they have, everything that's important to them, everything that's significant to them. It's about holding on to the things that you value and appreciate in life. So that's going to be your theme for the rest of this year. So the rest of this year is going to be about you. Once you've recognized and you valued and appreciated and you've got gratitude for what you do have, it's about holding on to that as much as you can. Four of Pentacles does come with a little bit of a warning, though, because it says to you that holding on is one thing, but holding on so tightly that you can't actually sit comfortably, you can't move, you can't walk, you can't do anything, is a problem. All right. So it is about finding a balance between how much you hold on and how much you put down, let go. And also recognizing that if you're carrying everything of significance in your life, if you're carrying that with you all the time, it's like carrying a bag on your back with your whole home in it. Like being a tortoise, carrying everything of value and importance to you on your back. You are immediately going to be slowed down. You're immediately going to be restricted in one way or another. You have already got yourself feeling quite restricted in your mind in the way that you are perceiving and imagining reality. So the Four of Pentacles is saying that the balance of the year is going to be about keeping everything together, about holding everything together, but it also comes with a little bit of a warning that says we need to make sure that we find that balance between how much we hold and how much we let go so that we can still achieve life. Okay, but I think as a theme, it's a really good one, considering what the first 6 months of this year have been like for you. So let's have a look now at the next four cards on the table here. This is now looking forward. Okay, so we're looking at the rest of 2022, July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2022. The first card that we're going to have a look at here is a card that's going to show what's coming your way. We know what you've experienced, but what's still ahead for you in this year. So what's coming your way? I love it. We've got the Fool card. Now, the Fool card is card 0 in the tarot. It's the very first card. So here we have, I'm going to call him a young man. He's not a young man, but we're going to call him a young man because he's got the energy of a young man. He is butt naked, okay? He has got a beard all the way down to his ankles, but he is dancing and jiggling, and he is living his best life. He doesn't care about anything, okay? He honestly and truly, he doesn't worry about anything. He doesn't care about anything. He realizes the hardships, the difficulties, the struggles, the challenges that he's had in life, and he's now just at a point where he says, it. I am going to have fun. And he is having fun. He doesn't care if people are offended. He doesn't care if people don't like what he has to say. He doesn't care if people don't like what he looks like. He is just so content and so happy with himself that he can just have a party for one or by himself, and a good party at that. Okay, now I know that life is not like this. I know we have to be realistic, that we have to be honest with ourselves. I know we have to face the truth, but the Fool card is about just being in the now, being in the moment, not overthinking things, not overanalyzing things, not overcomplicating things. Our time of overcomplications are done. The rest of this year is about freedom, about truth, about gratitude, and about just having fun for the sake of having fun. We don't always need a theme. We don't always need a reason. There isn't always an appropriate time for fun. This man, he is about having fun, but it's not like he's just not taking life seriously. He takes life very seriously, but he lives for the now. He lives in the moment. He's not thinking 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead, or any time. He's like, what can I do today to make the best of today? And that's how he lives his life. And this is what's coming your way as well. So how are you going to handle this? Because we know that this, as much as it sounds fabulous, realistically, we know that that's difficult. It's difficult to live your life that way. So how do you handle it? What can you do to handle and be more like that? So the question we're asking here is how to handle what's coming your way. And we have the Two of Pentacles. And it's so interesting. We've got 3 pentacles that have come through for us so far. So Pentacles talks about our stuff, the tangible, physical stuff that we have in our life. And the way to handle taking life day by day is by recognizing and having that balance and realizing that we can't try and do it all, hold on to it all, be it all. We have to understand that some days are going to be better than others. We'll have some good days, we'll have some bad days, we'll have some chaos days, we'll have some, easy days. But altogether, overall, it brings balance. It brings that kind of tranquility, that kind of happiness into our lives. So what's coming your way is to learn how to be happy in the now, happy in the moment, living for today. How to handle it? By realizing that bad days are balanced out by good days, and good days are balanced out by bad days. It can't always be happiness and sunshine. That unfortunately, we have to have a night, we have to have day. We go night, day, and that's just the way it goes. So balance is the card of how to handle this energy that's coming to you, for you, in the balance of 2022. Right. Who or what will help you to achieve this? Because this is important. We need to rally together. We need to support each other. We need to be there for each other. So who or what is going to support you or help you through achieving this harmony and balance in your life? And I love this, the 10 of Pentacles. We have another pentacle. So Pentacles is definitely, for those of you who chose the blue lace agate, it's definitely the theme. So I love this particular card because there's so much to see. So we've got some yoga happening, all right? We've got some flexibility happening. We've got one person here who is doing the downward dog. We have got somebody else who is back to back. There's her head, there's her face, this is her legs, and she's sort of bending over him. And then on the top of the castle, we have got Puppy Dog standing there getting a good view at whatever else is going on around them. So the 10 of Pentacles is the card of legacy. It's the card of understanding the bigger picture. It's the card of realizing that on our own, we are nothing, but with others, we are so much more than we realize. And it's also the card that says to you, when we help each other, when we build on each other, one person standing there is great. Adding on, building up is where we ultimately eventually become who and what we want to be. So being on your own, trying to figure everything out on your own, trying to have that balance on your own, trying to hold on to everything on your own is practically an impossibility. But when you connect with the people that matter in your life, your tribe, your family, and not your family of people that you don't like, but your family of people that are you, that you are them, that we are the same. We are so integrated. We are so connected. We are so as one. When you connect with them, because remember, this is who's going to help you to find happiness in every single day and to help you have balance in all that you do, so that we're not just going through challenge, 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 but that we have an appreciation and an understanding of what it is. So find your tribe, find your people, and let them help you. Don't try and handle everything on your own, because you can't. You can't hold on to everything on your own. It's just too much. It's just too much. So find the people who can support you. Find the people who can help you. Find the people who will be there for you, who will hold the pose while you achieve whatever it is that you need to achieve. Find those people, lean on those people, because that is how you will enjoy the success that's coming your way. And finally, Blue Lace Agate friends, something that you can look forward to for the balance of 2022, for the next 6 months ahead. We have got the King of Pentacles. So I have to, before I talk about the King of Pentacles, let's just talk about Pentacles. Pentacles is the suit of our stuff, of our money, of our tangibles, our material possessions, the things that we measure and value life against. In this reading of 8 cards, you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pentacles. So out of 8 cards, 5 out of 8 is Pentacles. So that's telling you that the rest of this year is going to be measured by tangibles, whether it be money, whether it be material possessions, whether it be stuff, but it's whatever is important and significant to you. However you measure your happiness and success, you are going to have an abundance of that for the balance of this year. So if you believe happiness comes from money, if money is the thing that drives you and is most important to you, then this is definitely saying money is going to be a huge part of the balance of this year from a positive, successful point of view, because you've got 5 out of 8 of them. Okay. If emotions and happiness and other areas are the most important thing to you, then just know whatever your tangible is, you're going to have an abundance of that in the balance of this year. So our final card, something to look forward to in the balance of 2022, we've got the King of Pentacles. Strong, confident, in control. You know, I look at that card, I look at that card, I look at that card, and look at how everything shifts. So please understand that this particular reading, this mid-year check-in, is probably the most important message that you've heard in a very long time, because we understand that you've been through a difficult time. We understand that you've had a hard year so far, but this is the turning point. From this point onwards, everything has shifted. Everything is different. And as long as you're able to change your mindset, thinking, way of thinking, the way that you are perceiving and imagining life, and as long as you can realize that you don't have to hold on to everything, then you will be in control. You will be superior. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. You will be accomplished, successful. You will have achieved everything that you've set your mind to, and so much more. But this is only possible if you learn to let go a little bit. All right, friends, I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and I hope this gives you whatever it is you need to make the changes that you need to make going forward, so that the balance of 2022 is not like that. Thank you for being here with me. With love and blessings from our heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Right, welcome to those of you who chose the Labradorite rough crystal as the crystal that has the message that you need to hear today. Welcome. I have shuffled and laid out the cards just because, honestly, this particular reading, I feel like we don't need all the fancy. We just want to get straight down to the message, straight down to the nitty gritty. So I have shuffled and laid out all the cards that we're going to be working with today, and I will just want to get straight into the reading. So Labradorite, let's have a look and see. Our first card that we're going to be turning over is the card to describe 2022 so far. So how has 2022 treated you so far? What has the first 6 months of this year been like? The card we have there is the Four of Pentacles. And if we look at that young gentleman, he is clutching. He is trying desperately to keep it together. He is trying so hard to hold those 4 pentacles that he has in his arms. Those 4 pentacles represent stuff, life, situation, opportunity, whatever. So he's struggling. Okay, he's succeeding, but maybe he's not succeeding. He's trying very hard to keep it all together. He's trying very hard to not drop anything. And this is what 2022 has been like for you. So you're feeling a little bit like, I don't know if I can keep this together for much longer. I don't know how much more of this I can handle. You've spent 6 months trying to hold it all together. Okay, let's have a look and see. The next card is going to be like the biggest take. So we understand that the first 6 months have not been easy, and you've been trying your best to keep it all together, to hold it all in. All right. So from the first 6 months, what is the biggest take that you can take from it? So what is the biggest lesson or the biggest thing that you can take from the beginning of the year? And we have got the Four of Wands. Now we've got the Four of Pentacles and we've got the Four of Wands. The common denominator here is the number 4. And it's quite interesting because the number 4 is the number of stability, of structure. And with the Four of Wands, it's exactly what we see. We see a structure being formed, and it's a solid structure. It's a strong structure. It's a structure that can withstand a lot of weight. So Spirit is saying to you, okay, 2022 so far, January, February, March, April, May, June, the first 6 months of 2022, you have struggled to keep it together, but you've succeeded. All right. And one thing that you can take away from this is actually how strong you are, even though you're a couple of scrawny little sticks. Okay. Even though you don't feel as tangible and as significant as you would maybe want to be, even though you may look fairly insignificant, you're actually withstanding, have withstood a lot. Okay, so the biggest thing for you to take, we're acknowledging that it's been difficult. We're acknowledging that there has been an element of suffering and struggling for you in 2022, but see how successful you are. See how much you've accomplished. See how much you have withstood. And I know people are saying, but I don't want to be so strong. I don't want to have to handle so much. But just look at the first 6 months of the year and say, you did your best at keeping it together and not dropping anything, by not dropping the ball. You kept it together. You did your absolute best. And that means that you're actually pretty superhero. Okay. You're actually pretty awesome. You're actually pretty fabulous. So the biggest thing that you can take from this year is that you succeeded. And I'm just going to full stop there. All right. The biggest thing to take from the first half of 2022 is the fact that you have survived, the fact that you have succeeded, and that you have managed and accomplished to do all the things that you had set out to do. All right, let's leave it there. Let's have a look and see, who are you right now? All right, so who are you right now at the time of watching this video? So I'm recording this video to be appropriate, applicable for the 1st of July onwards, for to be the second let me start that again, the second half of the year. So at the time of watching this video, at the time of picking Labradorite rough crystal, the roughest of them all. Let's see, who are you right here and right now? Card to describe you. And we have the beautiful Queen of Swords. I call her the beautiful Queen of Swords because, let me tell you, I don't want to rub her the wrong way. Her mind is so sharp. Her tongue is so sharp. She is so quick with her thinking. She is so quick with her decisions. She is so quick with her action. And she's not afraid. She has this incredibly long, sharp, powerful sword, and she's not afraid to use it. She will cut you open with her tongue, never mind with the sword. She is just so quick and so sharp. And this is you. You know, even though you feel as if you have struggled to keep it all together, even though you feel as if you're such a couple of sticks holding each other together, hoping that we can manage, even though you feel fairly insignificant, man, oh man, look at you go. Look at you go. You chose the Labradorite crystal, which, let's be honest, is not the prettiest out of the crystals that were options available to you today. It wasn't the most shiny and the most flashy, but underneath this tough, hard exterior, there is something beautiful hiding there. And that's what you were drawn to. And that's why you came here. And there you are. Queen of Swords. You are, so a card to describe you right here and right now. You are somebody who's got your act together. You are somebody who knows exactly what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of. You know that even though on the outside you may not look like much, you're actually capable of so much more. It has been tough. We're not taking anything away from that. Spirit are acknowledging that 2022 so far, the first 6 months have been really, really hard. And you have succeeded. And today, at the time of watching this video, you're actually pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Almost like, almost want to imagine this now as like a rough diamond. A rough diamond doesn't look like anything until it has been polished, just like this Labradorite, just like you. Okay, so you are a diamond in the rough. Our next card across over here is the theme for the balance of 2022. So July, August, September, October, November, December 2022. What is the theme of these 6 months for you? And we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is the card of choices and options. It's the card that says to you, it's going to be different. It could be different. It may be different from the first 6 months because you have choice. You have option. You have the ability to make decisions for yourself. Decisions that could change the way that you go, where you go, how you go, and how it works out. You're very much in the driver's seat. The challenge that comes with the Seven of Cups is that sometimes we feel quite overwhelmed by the choices, by the options. Sometimes we feel quite overwhelmed with when there's too many options and choices. So we often find ourselves in that kind of a situation of not making a choice. But this is Spirit saying to you that you're so strong. You're so confident. Your thinking is so crystal clear. Your mind is so sharp. You know exactly where you want to go and what you want to do. So the balance of this year, the balance of 2022 is about you making choices that are going to lead you in the place that you want to be, lead you exactly where you want to be, how you want to be, to become who you want to be. All right. I'm loving this. Coming down the bottom here, so these 4 cards across the bottom now are just dealing with what's left of 2022, so the next 6 months. So looking at the balance of 2022, the first card we're going to have a look at is what's coming your way. What can you expect for the balance of this year? And we have got the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is a bit of I'm going to refer to it as a tricky card, okay? I'm going to refer to it as a tricky card because the Nine of Wands says that you're building something. You're working towards something. You're trying to get everything in its right place at the right time. And sometimes we feel that can be quite overwhelming when there's so much going on. So if we look at the artwork, we've got a stick, we've got a bone, we've got some string. Actually, let me bring it a bit closer so that you can see. All right. So we've got some string tied around the two, and then the strings are woven amongst these sticks on the side. So we've got 2 going that way. We've got 2 going that way, going under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and the same on that side. So it's almost like you're weaving or trying to bring everything together to accomplish. So at the moment, it doesn't look like much. At the moment, whatever the structure is that you're trying to build, it actually doesn't look like much. But when we get everything in place, when everything is set as it needs to, because we can see that this particular bone is broken, so we're trying to work it together, we're trying to bring it together, and we're hoping that all of these sticks with the weaving will actually mend, heal, and repair, and make it stronger than it was to start off with. So, what does the balance of 2022 have in store for you? What's coming your way? There's a lot of work. All right. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of engineering. Okay. Is the kind of word that I want to use for that, because it's a lot of figuring out who needs to be where, how it needs to be, how many times, there's a lot of detail to figure out. But it's like if you've ever planned a wedding, you will know that it seems like it's chaos. It seems like it's never going to work. And then on the day, everything just clicks. Everything just works. Everything just fits perfectly. And that is what's coming your way in 2022. So at the moment, all these choices and all these options as the theme, it's like deciding who needs to be where. It's like planning the choreography behind the event, and then on the day, it's like everything is just fabulous. So this is what's coming your way, is that precision planning, that precision structure, creating something stronger than what we had initially, and just weaving all the pieces together. Okay. How should you handle this? Like, what is something that you need to do to handle this better? How should you handle this engineering project process next 6 months of your life? And it is with exactly that precision. So look at this. We have got the Knight of Swords. Look at that very fine, thin needle sword. And look what they've done. They've taken something as delicate as a butterfly and sliced it perfectly down the center. Perfectly down the center with precision. Okay, so whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're working through for the balance of 2022, you need to be precision oriented. We started this year fumbling a little bit, okay? We were like just randomly trying to hold and trying to grab and trying to keep it together. But now, come middle of the year, we're suddenly stronger, we're suddenly more confident, we suddenly have more realization around what we can and can't do. We understand that there's a lot of work to do, and we understand that we mustn't stop before we've actually completed it. And now you know that the best way to handle it is by being precise. Precise in your thoughts, in your actions, your behaviors, in who you bring in, why you bring them in. It's all around the choices, but you need to be very, very specific around who, what, when, and how. Precision is the key phrase for you for the balance of 2022. The next card we have is who or what will help you to have the precision to achieve everything that you need to. So let's have a look. Who or what will help you? Teamwork. So we have the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles, its keyword, its single keyword is teamwork. All right. It's about recognizing and understanding that if you try and do things on your own, you're one person. You're going to be struggling and fumbling a lot. But if you bring people in, if you are selective, okay, around exactly who you need, what skills you need, what methods. You could have chosen a much bigger sword. Let's say we'd taken the Queen of Swords sword here. That sword is too thick to be so precise. So sometimes less is more. So teamwork, who or what will help you? Other people, but you have to be selective because it's your choice. You have to be selective as to who you bring in and why you bring them, because we need everything to come together. So if you choose somebody who goes against the grain, if you choose somebody who comes with ego or comes with attitude, it's going to cause chaos in your life, okay? We've had enough of that. So this is Spirit saying to you that who or what will help you achieve everything that you need to have success for the balance of this year. It is about recognizing that you need to bring people in to assist you, but you have the choice. It's all about your choice. It's all about who you want to bring in based on your needs, wants, and desires. And finally, for those of you who chose the Labradorite, our final card is something that you can look forward to during the balance of 2022. So for the next 6 months, something to look forward to, we have the beautiful Fool card. So the Fool card is the card of initiative, of excitement, of joy, of new beginnings, of unknown territory, stepping out of your comfort zone, but knowing that you're stepping out of your comfort zone into happiness, into joy, into an abundance. Recognizing that, we're going on uncharted territory. We're doing something we've never done before, but having confidence, trust, and faith and belief that we've got this and that it's going to be okay. So what do you have to look forward to? Everything, anything. And just know that if you try and hold it all together on your own, if you try and do this on your own, if you try and navigate the next 6 months of your life on your own, it's going to be practically impossible. It's time for you to use your smarts, to use your wit, to use your mind, your intellect, and to get the things done that you need to, so that you can have the success and the abundance and the happiness and the joy that you truly, truly deserve. Choices are yours. So for those of you who chose the Labradorite, thank you for being with me today. I hope this message is just gives you exactly what it is that you need in your life right here and right now. As always, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.